for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
What's up, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to Breakthrough with Lou. It is Monday morning, what do they call them? Cyber Monday. Yes, today is your Cyber Day to save money. And actually, I got a really good deal on something yesterday that I use all the time. And I was like, yay, that was a pretty cool concept right there. Cyber Monday. Save yourself a few bucks. But, the reality is let's think about that on a Cyber Monday. Are you buying it because it's cyber money and you're saving money, or is it something you would have bought anyway and you saved money on it? What a concept. Loving my coffee this morning, guys. So grab a cup of coffee and let's talk this morning. Today's show is called Thanks. And what could that mean? It could mean me saying thanks to you for being a loyal listener. It could be thanks for everything, like as in Thanksgiving, giving thanks for what you have. Could be thanking your God, thanking your Creator. Could be simply saying, today I'm going to say thank you to more people that are around you that make your life easier or really make your life possible. What do you have to give thanks for today? That's really what we're going to talk about. What are you really thankful for? And, a lot of times people say, oh, family, health, wellness, but what are you deeply in your heart thankful for? When you look around you, and you look into your environment, what's the first thing that you can say, I'm thankful for that? What is the first thing you're really thankful for in the morning? Do you wake up and hit the snooze button 5 times and go, oh God, it's Monday, I gotta get up? Or do you go, hey, it's Monday, I get to listen to Breakthrough with Lou. How exciting is that? Maybe that's what you're thankful for. I certainly hope the hell so, because that's what I'm here to do for you, is to show my thanks to you for you listening, to give you something valuable, something you can use, and something that is worthwhile to you. Wow, what a concept, right? Giving thanks. I think I've heard it put so many different ways and times that, you're never going to have more till you're thankful for what you have. Let's dissect that a little. Never going to have more till you're thankful for what you have. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But what if you're content with what you have? Ew, there it opens a little can of worms. It's okay to be thankful. It's okay to appreciate, but what if you get content? Well, then you might lose your edge. Oh, wow. Never quite looked at it that way. Some people are like, well, I got all I need. I'm okay. Is that really the way you want to live your life? I got all I need. I'm okay. The kids are okay. My marriage is okay. I got an okay job. That is no way to live. It's okay to say, I'm grateful for my children, my marriage, my business, my job, but it's not okay to just stagnate. And that's what's important. See, when you give thanks for what you have, it gives you that sense that you already have something. So there's a sense of abundance, but don't let it dull what you're going after. Don't let it become okay, well, I'm thankful because other people don't have this and I do. Hey, that's great. I mean, it's good to appreciate. There's nothing wrong with appreciation. There's nothing wrong with being thankful, grateful, having gratitude. However, it can be a trap just as much as it can be a gift. Oh, kind of crazy there, huh? Gratitude and giving thanks and everything else can be a real gift if you learn how to harness it and go, every day is a gift. Every day I'm grateful for, as opposed to waking up and go, oh, here we go, let's do another day. No, that's not really the way you're going to get more. But you can go, I'm so grateful for what I have, but I'm even more grateful for what I'm going to have. What drives you? And sometimes people say, well, pain drives me. I got to work hard to avoid pain. If I don't work hard, I'll have the pain of failure. Or I won't have a roof over my head. And other people are like, no, it's all about pleasure. It's what can I get? What can I enjoy? What can I experience? I'm here to tell you a real shocking piece of news this morning, guys. It's both. If you don't have enough pain to drive you away from getting into complacency, you're not going to go forward. But at some point, pain can't be the only driver. You got to have something you're going for that pulls you. Okay, when you're being pushed, it'll get you moving. But when you're being pulled towards something, that will keep you moving. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You need the push and the pull of both. They're twin forces in your life that push you away from what you don't want to be at, but also pull you to where you want to be at. I've known people that have lived in constant reactive pain push, and they're successful because of it, but they're not fulfilled. Then I've seen people that are totally in the kumbaya land of, we'll just, commune, and it doesn't matter how much money we have. We're going to sit and have coffee at Starbucks and commune and talk about equality. And then they go home one day and they have an eviction notice on their door because their asses are spending time communing and hanging out in kumbaya dreaming, and they realize that their friends and buddies in government and stuff like that isn't going to pay their rent. Okay? There's a balance. And it's not an exact balance. It is a balance that is your balance. The amount of pain to drive to stay away from, total financial wreckage, and the amount of pull to go, I want to go see Italy. I want to go travel the world, or I want to build a charity, or I want to, have a great college fund for my kids, or whatever it is. What is that pleasure drive? But what is that push too? You need the push. You can't live in kumbaya. You can't go, I'm going to and think about it. And, my kid's college is going to be paid for and I'm going to travel the world. I mean, you might backpack and sleep under bridges and, ride the train and travel the world, but that might not be the way you want to do it, okay? You need a certain level of success to get to what you want. And this is the crazy part of it, because people get stuck somewhere between gratitude and thankfulness and motivation and success, and think that it's got to be one or the other. Either I got to have all this gratitude and just kind of go through life with it's a gift. If it's God's will, it's going to happen my way. Well, hold on a minute. Okay, God can't do it himself. Now, he works miracles, yes. However, think of God as a parent, or however you call your creator. I mean, we may or may not share the same religious beliefs, but however you call your creator, think of him as a parent. Okay, you got two kids. One of them, they're both good kids. One of them is a real go-getter. If you give them $1 for lunch money today, they went and traded something at school and turned it into $2 and $3 and had a better lunch, where the other one just, took the $1 and spent it. When it comes time to doing work around the house, around the yard on the weekends, one of them's out there first thing in the morning, crack of dawn with the rake, knocking it out and going, Dad, look what I've done. Check this out. Boom, boom, boom. The other one's in there playing the video games or tweeting on the telephone all the time going, what do you mean you want me to mow the lawn? I'm in the middle of a game. Which one are you going to reward? The one who takes action. You're going to love them both, but which one are you going to reward as a parent? Okay? And that's where, people have a hard time with this. And I'm not preaching here, but God would really like you to take part, do your part, okay? It doesn't mean you ignore your creator or go, it's all me, 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 or whatever, but you can't just go, oh, God, give me a brand new car, and he's going to pull it up in the driveway and go, here's your new keys. here's your car. He's going to go, all right, here's an opportunity. You want that Lambo and you're only working a job and, you're like, oh, it's going to take me 25 years to say, get another job. Get a secondary job. Go educate yourself more so you become more valuable in your workplace. There are ways to do this, but you got to do your part. Okay? And some people say, well, some people are blessed by God. They win the lottery, but they still had to go play. How many people go, I wish I could win the lottery and don't buy a lottery ticket? Now, I'm not encouraging that, everybody who prays or, puts it out there, buys a lotto ticket is going to become a millionaire. But I can assure you one thing, unless you really want to put in the work, which is my recommendation, if you think you're going to win the lotto, you got to buy the ticket. If you think you're going to land the big job, you got to go get the interview. Okay? You can't sit there and go, I went to school for this, that, and the other, and I got all this degrees and everything else, and somebody's going to come discover me. No, they're not going to come discover you. Nobody's coming to save you, discover you, scoop you up, take you under their wing. It was funny. My mother, when I was younger, Mom had her ways and beings, and I think, we didn't have the most opportune growing up childhood, but Mom and Dad both individually taught me lessons that make me who I am today. So there's no hard feelings there. When I was a kid, there was some hard feelings. But she used to tell me, I think you should find an older auctioneer who's ready to retire. Take you under his wing and teach you the business and then turn it over to you. Yeah, okay, like that's going to happen. Somebody's just going to take some strange kid and go, okay, I'm going to teach you my whole business. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, that's not saying there aren't people out there that you could get in that situation, but you have to go find it. But I was like, well, how about I just make my own way? How about I learn, model, grow, and do it. Get out and do the business instead of waiting 10 years, 20 years for somebody to turn a business over to me. I learned my lesson with that with good old Dad. Thank you, Dad. Best gift in the world he ever did for me. But when we were kids, you and your sisters, it's all going to be yours. That's why you work for so little right now, but you got a future. You're going to own this business someday. And we walk in one day and here's your new boss, your half brother, who's been our arch enemy forever and ever and hates you guys. But, I sold the business to him. What the flip just happened? That was exactly, and I didn't use the word flip. I was like, are you serious? That didn't last 3 days. It turned into a big disaster where desks got overturned in the office and rather large big brother squashed me on the floor and the police came and I quit. I was like, you know what? I just set myself back 20, 30 years. And I was so mad. How could my father do that to me? How could he pull the rug out from under us? And da-da-da-da. Well, the truth be told is he knew my loving sisters couldn't handle being in business. It would have been too many chiefs. And I was too young at the point. He thought I was too young. So I immediately called up my business partner, who we always knew was going to be my business partner. He and his wife were amazing friends of mine and were the type of people that watched out for me, and they were really good people. And I said, hey, does that offer still stand? And I'm all of just, I turned 18 because they had to be 18 to get my own license. And I remember, going there and sitting down and having this really great lunch with them, and I was all impressed because there was shrimp cocktail and everything, and they were successful people in other businesses. So we go into business, and needless to say, that wasn't a forever thing because I changed states where I lived. But I learned so much about getting in and getting business done. It doesn't happen by kumbayaing about it, thinking about it, hoping for it, hope in one hand and poop in the other, and it's what you got. You can't just hope. You got to do to get out there. But in a roundabout story here, circling back to Dad supposedly yanking the carpet out from under me, selling the business out from under. That was never my business in the first place. Number one, I didn't build it. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it, but I didn't build it. It wasn't my pride and joy. It wasn't designed the way I would. We didn't, as a family, we didn't treat people the way I would. And I quickly realized as it went, whew, I remember my older brother, he sued me, but long story short, trying to knock me out of the business. But he said to me one day, and God rest his soul, he's dead too. So he's gone. But he says to me, he goes, you'll never gross in sales in a year what I net. Okay. Wasn't that long that was the total opposite. But you know what? I wanted to call him so bad and say, what'd you do this year? At one point, and it's when things were really, really good, and I was like, you know what? Why? Why? He's in decline. His health is in decline. He's never been a happy man. Why would I want to rub it in? I was like, but you know what? In a sense, I thanked him because, again, he gave me that motivation. Dad got me out of what would have been a bad situation. I mean, I can't even imagine still being in Buffalo, New York, trying to fight out running a business with my sisters. Love them, but not business people. Not where I wanted to live for the rest of my life in Buffalo, New York. Sorry, but I like Florida. It is what it is. I love it here. And that's something to be thankful for. But my whole point to it is looking back, what seemed to be, dog poop in the face was actually the greatest gift in the world because, you know what? I look back and I know what my dad thought. He was like, it's not going to be easy on you, kid, but I know you're the one that can do it. I know you're the one that doesn't need anything. Okay. And that was a truth that woke me up at a point where I'm like, okay, faith, yes, I had lots of faith and there were up and down times, but taking the action was the learning curve there. If you're handed something and you didn't earn it in some way, manner, or form, it really doesn't have the same amount of value. Now, back to the example I was talking about playing the lotto. I played lotto once in a while. Not that I recommend being, that's going to be your ticket out, but nobody wins it without playing it. But that's an analogy for anything else in life. Nobody becomes an entrepreneur, executive, business owner without starting a business somewhere. Nobody becomes very fit and healthy and do Spartan races without getting out there and doing your first run or walking in the gym doing your first workout and probably feeling awkward as heck going in the gym the first time. I don't know about you, but most people are not of the mindset where it's like, I want to go off in the gym and show off and Mr. Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. I'm Kronk and I want to show off to everybody. And most people don't walk in the gym like that. They walk in the gym like, oh my God, these guys all look like they know what they're doing and I don't know what I'm doing. But if you don't do that first day of walking in and taking the uncomfortable action, you're never going to be strong, fit, healthy. And some people are like, I do my workout at home. Some people do. And some people have amazing garage gyms. Other people talk about that they're working out at home and, they do a stretch for 5 minutes in the morning and go, I worked out today. No, it's better than not doing 5 minutes of stretching, and flexibility is important. But again, my point being is it's good to be, initial point to today's show, it's good to be thankful and give thanks for what you have. If you don't appreciate what you have, it's very difficult to take it to the next level and get more. But if you don't want more, you'll never have more. And if you don't take action towards more, you'll never have more. If you don't have in your life what you want today, there is one person to blame. That's yourself. And you might say, no, this happened to me or that happened to me or my parents or God didn't, send me the same gifts he sent you or this or that. You could use every excuse in the book. But the reality is you got to take part. Okay. You might pray for something and expect it to happen. Well, that's great. That's step one. But then you gotta do your part. Okay? Like anything else, you might get your dream job, but if you get in there and you don't perform and you don't do your job and you don't do it not just good, but at a level of outstanding or great, you may not have it and you're certainly not going to grow anywhere. Same thing with a business. You can't open a business and open up the doors and put up the open sign and go, here we are. Why isn't anybody coming through the door? Because you got to market, you got to coordinate, you got to get with people, you got to create. And that's at every level. No matter what level you're at, you got to continue to grow. Okay? And still be thankful for what you have. Okay? And it's hard because some days are just downright hard. Some days, no matter how hard you've worked the last 10 years of your business, all of a sudden something like the C word comes along and everybody's like, shut the world down. Oh, we're dying. We're this, we're that. Bah, 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 bah. And there goes your business. Some people went till they hit the ground and exploded like a crashing airplane. And some people came flying down and pulled it out and banked it out and right back up and even went higher than they were before because they innovated. Innovation, growth, you being ahead of the curve, being smart. What worked last year, 10 years ago, doesn't work so well right now, guys. AI's coming at you. This is coming. And you might go, I ain't using that AI stuff. Oh, it makes me want to throw up when people say that I'm too old to learn that. Or that's like saying back in the day, that internet, I'm not going to use internet. Even the oldest, even people that are very elderly use internet and have iPhones now, even though they're very resistant to it. There was a certain generation that was very resistant to the internet when it showed up. Okay, but it's the same thing with AI. Get used to it. Put it to work for you. It's not some mystery that's out there and going to come to life and robots are going to come take you over, or you're going to just sit in a chair and never move and have tubes in your body to feed you. That is no. But AI is saving lives in operating rooms by catching things that the human eye didn't see. And so forth. It's not, AI's not operating on people, but it's assisting. It's the same thing with your business. AI, all these people, just set it and forget it, AI businesses on YouTube. BS. You still got to take part in it, guys. But the thing is AI can quickly double, triple, quadruple, 10x your output. Okay, I can translate the show in no time into whatever language I want, where it would take days to get that done before. I can translate Breakthrough with Lou we translate it into Spanish right now, but we could translate that into one of 50 languages within an hour. How crazy is that? How about a graphic that I used to have to sit there with Publisher for 2-3 hours, 4 hours to get a logo or something done? Then you had Canva, which is kind of hokey, but Canva pretty good. Okay, boom, 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 boom. We did Canva. That sped things up, but Canva has limitations. Now you have AI, and Sintra is the one I use. I can hook you guys up with a link and get you a really great deal. It's like next to nothing for what you get. It's very business oriented. But the point is, I have Sintra that can create these graphics as long as you know how to prompt them. And prompting doesn't require a year of education. It's just being able to speak to the AI to get what you want. But the crazy thing is I can create a graphic for the auction, for the show, for something that is 10 times better than what I can create sitting there jerking around with Canva or Publisher or something like that within seconds. Okay? And you don't let it tell you. I don't tell AI, write my show for me. But I'll tell you what AI does for me. When I'm all said and done, I'll get you a little secret here. When it's all said and done, when I'm done with the show, I pipe my audio through Rev, and it gives me a transcript. Now, sometimes I might or oh or pop or say something, that doesn't translate well into writing. So I take that and then clean it up, and then I can translate it too, like that. But the thing is you know how many hours it would take me to write the actual post from all of what I've said? Just in this 25 minutes we've been on this morning would take me 3 to 4 hours to get that transcribed by a human being. Rev transcribed in less than 5 minutes. I have an absolute transcription to everything I said. How cool is that? How can I use that tool otherwise? Have you ever made voice notes in the car and you're gonna go through then later and write down hours of voice notes and go, oh God, I was rambling? Or can you take the voice note and stick it into Rev and it gives you a printout of what you said in 2 minutes? It's a win-win situation, guys. It's not telling you what to think. You're telling it to translate what you think. And then you could even outline it so that you don't get a whole lot of the in-between, where sometimes you go on a rant. We all know I do. And I'll go, well, let me get back to my original topic here that we were talking about, like giving thanks today. I really hope that this resonated with you guys today. It was kind of candid and talked a little bit about my history. Not to tell you, ooh, look at me, where I came from, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that's important that you know that a lot of what we talk about and a lot of the fortitude to build what's been built here didn't come from an easy run. Sometimes people are like, oh, yeah, you grew up in a family business and a lot of people inherit that business and da-da-da-da. And I know some extremely successful people. I got a dear friend, I'm not bringing up any names or anything, that, kind of took over the business from his dad. And he is absolutely the hardest working person I know. And that business flourishes even stronger now. And good, moralistic, just amazing people. But that doesn't always happen. Sometimes people inherit a business and it goes in the toilet, or they're cocky, or this or that. So it's different in every case. But I want to give you a little backstory on me there of, why what appeared to be, when I was younger, appeared to be a slap in the face was the best gift in the world. You know why? Dad knew I could do it. And that is the greatest pat on the back. My only wish in that whole situation, or regret, I guess if you'd have a regret, but I'm going to call it a wish, is that I would have had a chance to have gotten to the point where I understood before Dad passed and been able to say to him, son of a gun, you tough-ass dude, you tough-ass old bird, you knew exactly what you were doing, and you had more faith in me than anybody else other than God that I know, because what you did proved that you had more faith in me than I would have ever thought. My dad was not cuddly, hey, oh, yeah, you're great. No, Dad was very tough. But the thing is that's the greatest honor in the world, that my father believed in me. And it's a driver today that it's a healing driver, because as a child, I didn't understand my parents' psychology, which wasn't exactly normal on either end. I didn't understand, but I did understand that they both had a belief in their kid. And that in itself is just an outpouring of love beyond the, I love you, everything's kumbaya, great childhood, everything else. They believed that I could do more. They believed that I could break some of the family cycle. They believed in me. And that in itself is just so freeing. And I offer this to any of you out there, any of you listeners, and I'm going to let it go this morning because we're running out of time. I'm going to say that if you have animosity towards your parents, if nothing else, they gave you life. Run with that. Run with they gave you the one gift that no one else, no other parents, nobody other families, nobody else could give you. Digest that one. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams, guys. This is Coach Lou. I'm signing off. Love y'all. Have an absolutely amazing day.